3D experience that you're having, if you're holding on to negative energy, if you're holding on to anger and bitterness and whatever else, it doesn't matter how justified you think it is, it's going to keep money away from you. It's simple as that. Hi everyone, it's Gull Khan here, your money mindset expert, and I help entrepreneurs to break free from the limiting beliefs, to reverse their money shame, and to blast through your money blocks. But it's today I don't normally come online on social media, especially because weekends are family days. But I thought I will do, because my brother just left with his daughter, and I was talking to him, and I spoke to my sister-in-law as well, and we've not had the best of relationships, myself and my sister-in-law, and forgiveness is one of my favorite topics, and I talk about it a lot, because I think without forgiveness, without dealing with forgiveness, without having forgiveness in your life, prosperity eludes you as a lot, okay? So if you want prosperity in your life, you have to adopt forgiveness, but not just forgiveness from the lips, but forgiveness from the heart. I think there's a big distinction there. A lot of people pay lip service to the idea of forgiveness, and they forgive from me, yeah, I forgive you, and it's okay, so it doesn't really matter, and that kind of attitude, but that doesn't really work. You have to forgive from the heart, and I talk about forgiveness in a way that you have to forgive to such an extent that you actually really wish them well from the bottom of your heart, and actually wish them well in a way that you want them to prosper, you want them to do well, which is really is a hard bullet to buy, especially if someone's wronged you or you feel like someone's wronged you. But in order for you to really forgive someone truly from your heart and actually move on, this is really important. You need to be able to see them prosper. Okay, that's something that's the lesson that I teach my clients, even my children and people around me, because I think without forgiving people fully with all your heart and actually wishing them well, you are not on the path of prosperity. I say this time and time again, that forgiveness is the path of prosperity, because without forgiving people in the way that I teach, that you are not able to bring prosperity in your life. I mean, money is a high vibrational energy. It really is. And for you to attract money and abundance, but not just money and abundance, but abundance in all forms, abundance in your relationships, abundance in your health, abundance in your joy and happiness, you need to have a clear heart. You need to have a clean state. You need to have a clean heart. And any negative emotions towards anybody, I mean anybody, even those people I know your ego will jump up and say, well, Gul, I'm justified because how can I forgive X, Y, and Z because they did this, this, and this? And you can have a list that's like a shopping list, a list that's long as a shopping list, telling you what all the things that they've wronged you and how they've wronged you. But I'm telling you this right now, and I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of men and women now, and I can tell you this right now, if you are holding on to bitterness, if you are holding on to hatred, if you're holding on to any kind of negative energy, you will not be prosperous. You will not be prosperous, okay? Money will be evasive, money will elude you. Money, you may actually get money. I mean, in many ways, money does come, and I have clients who say, well, money comes, but it doesn't stay. And that's very typical of money. Money may come, but money may leave. Okay, very, very quickly. That's where a lot of people are able to manifest money, but money leaves. Money, either goes out, an unexpected bill comes along, or the expenses come along. Money comes and money goes. They're unable to build that wealth. Being wealthy and attracting money are two separate things. Okay, and actually becoming wealthy is not that difficult. I mean, there's such thing as compound interest. We're aware of all the strategies and things to do to become wealthy. However, the reason why we're not able to practically implement those strategies, which we're all aware of, is because of these blocks that you have, these energetic blocks that you have. And one of the major one is it comes when you have negative feelings or emotions towards others, including yourself, by the way. So a lot of the times you have very negative feelings and emotions towards yourself. So forgiveness starts with yourself. You have to forgive yourself for any bad decisions you made, any bad relationships, any bad financial decisions that you've made, any career choices you've made. You have to forgive yourself for all of those choices and all of those relationships or all of those decisions, cumulatively. Okay. At the same time, what you also need to do is forgive others. You might, I mean, your ego. And I know a lot of people say this. Go, I'm justified in being annoyed with X, Y, and Z. Your ego will tell you this. Your ego will tell you you're justified, and you probably are. I'm not denying that. I'm not condoning their actions. You forgiving them is not condoning the actions. It's not saying that, okay, what they did was justified or what they did was right. But the point is, when you forgive them, you let go of this negative energy which is holding on to you really, really, really tightly. And because this negative energy is holding on to you, it's actually shackling you to the past. When you forgive people, you let go of these shackles from the past, you let go of this negative energy, and you're able to pretty much prosper and fly. I kid you not, it sounds like a cliche, but it really does. It really does work that well. So one of the first things that I work with in my masterminds is when I talk about forgiveness, and I go in deep. I really, really do, because I believe if you're holding on to any form of negative energy, either to yourself or somebody else, you cannot be prosperous. And when I want you to be, not only do I want you to be prosperous in financially, because when somebody comes to work with me, money is given. Okay, you're gonna get money. You make money, you'll attract money. That is a given thing. That's absolutely done deal. Okay, that's not a problem. But for me, I want you to be prosperous in all areas of your life. I want you to be prosperous in your health. I want you to be prosperous in your relationships. I want you to be prosperous in your business, in your career, in relationships, every aspect of your life. You should be prosperous, okay? And money is something that's going to be, it's just given, okay? If you're working with me, money's coming to you. That's not even a questionable thing. The amount of people that, as soon as they start working with me, money is just something that comes. It's just a matter of time, not where. It's just a matter of time, not if. So money is coming. So, but I don't want you to go, my clients to go away and not to actually fully benefit, because this life is not all about living with money. And I very rarely say this, that money is not everything, okay? Because I value and respect money a lot. I'm probably the one person who values and money respect more than anybody else you'll ever meet. I'm very passionate about money. And that's why my sole focus on business is about teaching people about money, how to change your ideas about money. But my goal is for you to be prosperous in your health, in your life. I want you to be happy, because if you're not happy in all other areas of your life, you can't be happy with money either. You won't attract that much money. It's simple. This illusion that people have that, let me make money first and then I'll work on happiness. Let me make money first, then I'll work on my relationships. Let me make money first, etc., etc., etc. Fill in the blanks, right? It doesn't work that way. Okay, when you start eliminating your negativity from your life, when you start eliminating negative energy from your life, you start getting prosperity in all areas of your life. It's not, we don't deal, the way I work, it's not either or. You are meant to be prosperous in every area of your life. You're meant to be healthy. You're meant to be, happy and joyous. You're meant to have fantastic relationships. You're meant to have fantastic friends. You're meant to have fantastic, spouse or husband or wife or whatever, and also if you want children, whatever, you're supposed to have a prosperity in all areas of your life. And this is something that I really, really focus on, but you can only get there if you let go of the old, as I call it, shackles from the past, by letting go of the negative energy. Once again, you do not condone people's actions by forgiving them. When you forgive people, you're forgiving and you forgive yourself. You're allowing yourself, you're giving yourself the permission to let go of the past. You're allowing yourself to let go of yourself in that area, in that time zone, and actually move forward. Because what happens is, if you do not forgive people, and listen to me very, very carefully, okay? This live is supposed to be short and ends up being long live, because I love talking about forgiveness. But when you're holding on to a memory which is, by the way, is just a memory. When you're holding on to a memory of something that bad happened to you, regardless how justified you are that X, Y, Z happened, whatever. And in my example, I always say that I'm able to fully forgive and move past my ex-husband, who I actually literally caught in the act. I literally caught him red-handed with his girlfriend. From the bottom of my heart, I wish him well, and I want him to be prosperous, and I want him to have a really happy relationship with whoever he is with. I don't know who he is with, but I want him to be happy with that. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Why? Because if I hold on to that negative, if I keep playing that memory scene again and again, when I walked into him, with him and his girlfriend, and while we were married, I'll be replaying that memory again and again in my energy field, and by chemistry wise, or body wise, those chemicals would be released in my body system every single time. So my body would actually energetically and chemically replay that scene over and over and over again. So my body would be going through that pain again and again and again. When I decided to let go and forgive him for that, It meant I released my body from going through that trauma again and again and again, and allowed my energy field to just remove that block, forgive him, move on. It didn't condone his actions. What he did was not right. And, but I don't need him to admit it or not to admit it. It doesn't really matter, neither here nor there. He has to apologize and whatever else. Not important. We move on. But the point is, I let go, not so that I can forgive him and, for his sake. I let go and forgave him for my sake. Okay, and when I look upon him now, I truly, with the bottom of my heart, wish him well. I want him to be happy. I want him to have a really good relationship with their children because he's their father, etc., etc. So this is why I talk about forgiving from that element, forgiving from the point where. So Gull, how do you forgive? You need to forgive, but how? How do you make the hurt anyone who caused you to go away? That's a great question, Rola. That's a great question. So the way I recommend you forgive people is actually write things out. Okay, I'm a big believer of writing things out. When you get your energy out from your, all the stored energy from your insides, from your psyche onto a piece of paper, that process alone starts the process of forgiveness. Okay, so you need to write every single thing out that this person's done to you that's really hurt you. And in my mastermind, we go into this really in depth for every single person. But for example, one person that's really hurt you, Rola, write it out in depth what it is that person did, what happened, and how you felt, And also, by the way, simultaneously, this is what people miss. Write out next to it everything that you need to forgive for yourself. For example, if for everything that person has done, there will be an equal long list that you need to forgive yourself. Why was I so stupid? Why was I so foolish? Why was I so trusting? Why did I go there? Why wasn't why wasn't I even friends with this person? Or why was I even married to this person? Or etc. etc. As long as the list is for the person who's hurt you, there'll be a list just as long for yourself. Okay, it's about your reactions, about your decisions, so forth. So what you need to do is take each individual item on that list and forgive that person. This is a long, tedious thing, I know, but I mean, in my mastermind, we do clearings, we work on clearings, and I give you some other tools and strategies. But this is one of the major ones as well, where you write it out. Okay, you write it out, and you forgive each and every single thing on that piece of paper. Okay, and it may be too painful to start with everything. So start with one thing. Start with the thing that hurts you the most. For example, if there's a friend of yours and the friend betrayed you, start with that betrayal. Okay, start with the betrayal that, okay, this person betrayed me. I'm gonna forgive this. Okay, and just work on that first. The way to know if you've forgiven something or not is when you become neutral towards it. So you know for a fact that any particular incident you've forgiven is when that incident no longer triggers you. If that incident is still triggering you, if you're still getting upset over it, if it still causes you pain, you haven't forgiven them. Okay, basically I call this emotional charge. You should no longer have an emotional charge on a particular memory, good or bad. You should become neutral towards it. If you're still being triggered by a memory, if something's still upsetting you, if something's still annoying you, then you haven't forgiven that person for that particular memory. Okay, for that particular incident, then you need to carry on forgiving. There is another methodology you can use, which is from Joe Vitale's, who teaches about Ho'oponopono. That is a great way to forgive people also. Okay, and those 4 phrases are I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. You can use those as well for forgiveness as well. They're very, very powerful, and I do use them in my practice as well, in my teaching, in my mastermind, and I go into detail how to do that and how to specifically use those particularly 4 phrases in a special way that I use it. It's a long, tedious thing, but you need to forgive one thing at a time, but every single thing for that person. But don't forget yourself. Okay. Don't forget yourself. You also need to forgive everything that you need to forgive for somebody else. You need to equally forgive for yourself. So how stupid was I? How foolish was I? How did I do this? Why didn't I do this? You will have for everything for somebody else. You have something that you criticize yourself. You think I could have done better. I could have made a different decision. I could have behaved differently. So you need to forgive yourself too. It's one of those things that it's something that's not only will this pay you dividends if you actually really you set yourself the target and do it. But if you actually really pay attention and do this with utmost honesty with yourself and being really honest with yourself, this will pay you dividends so much over the long run, not just in your finances, but in your personal life, in your health, and so forth. I mean, I do a lot of I do study a lot of epigenetics. and also how, you know, the biochemistry changes with our emotions and so forth. I've been studying a lot about that as well. I've been studying a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza's material, which I think is fabulous, by the way. If you get a chance to read any of his material, like You're the Placebo is one of his books, or You're Being Supernatural is another books that I absolutely love. Do read those books. They're absolutely amazing. So your emotions change your biochemistry, they really do, and these memories have such a big impact on you. So for you to, before you can move on, before you can change your outside reality, before you can actually move past anything of your current reality, especially when it comes to finances, you really need to let go of the old past hurts, pains, memories, and negative energy. And the best way to do it, and the quickest way to do it, is to forgive everyone and yourself. Just be happy and be where you are, because, you know, everything that is happening in life has got you to where you are. And if you like where you are, then you wouldn't be here. If even there's a slight deviation in your path, everything that happened in life got you to this point where you are right now. So everything that happened in my life got me to this point at the moment where I'm sitting on sofa talking to you guys. If anything had been different in my life, I don't think I'll be here. I don't think I'll be doing what I'm doing. And I absolutely love my work. I absolutely love working with the kind of clients that I have, the kind of people that I get to meet, the kind of impact I'm having. And I love the kind of feedback that I get, and the love and appreciation that I get. I wouldn't have that if I hadn't gone through what I did go through. At the same time, I'm not really sure how, you know, as you go through pain, and when you go through the kind of turmoil as individuals, your ups and downs, it gives you the element of being empath, the empathy that I don't know whether you would have if you haven't gone through that sort of pain. I'm a very strong empath anyway. That's besides the point. But empathy is a skill that you acquire as you go through your turmoils, your roller coaster rides and through life. So having said that, everything in life has got you where you are, for where you need to be, and you are exactly where you need to be for this divine plan. So everything that happened in my life, be it for my first ex-husband, or my son's father, my Irfan, or how my father was, or even my sister-in-law who I spoke to this afternoon, everything that happened in my life, there are people that have hurt me quite deeply. But I've forgiven them, and I wish them well, and I look at them, and I can actually look at them and actually really wish them well from the bottom of my heart, say, I really hope things work out very well for you. When I met my sister-in-law just now, I wished her well, and I really gave a lot of love, and love from the bottom of my heart. We don't see eye to eye, we haven't for years, but at the same time, I really want her to do well. I want her to be really, really happy, because she's my niece's mother. But even if she wasn't my niece's mother, I still want her to be happy, because you know what? In the grand scale of things, in the collective consciousness, she's part of me. That's one thing that we all forget, okay? And maybe I'm going a bit deep, I'm going on a tangent, but I think maybe because it's late night, it's quite late night, I'm a bit chilled. I'm not in my normal position of talking. Normally I do my lives on my laptop, and I've not done a live on my phone for ages. But maybe that's something that a lot of people forget, and I think we forget this point. We are all part of the same collective consciousness. I always say it's like this, okay? Most of the time we're walking around thinking we're individuals, and so these fingers don't realize that they're all connected. And when you actually become awakened, you realize we're all connected to the same source. So we're all part of the same collective consciousness. So I can't wish one person bad without expecting that or being returned to me. It's just that's why the law of attraction works the way it does. I can't wish someone well without receiving that goodwill for myself. And this is why when you're angry and upset, you're stuck in that ego thinking, well, he or she did this wrong to me, they were horrible to me, they deserve to have X, Y, and Z. Okay? Let karma and things be the way they are. And if you do it from this perspective, okay, that it's like this, okay, doesn't matter what harm this little pinky does to this index finger, okay, if this little pinky gets hurt, inevitably, in the end, the index finger will get hurt too. There's no way around it, because we're all part of the same collective consciousness. It depends on how awake you are, how aware you are, and how willing you are to accept the fact that we are part of the same collective consciousness. We're all part of the same universal energy, and it's just a matter of time before we actually get awakened to that point. We're all these spiritual beings, these spiritual entities having this physical experience in these bodies, and our ego tells us we're me, right? Anyway, that's too much of maybe a spiritual work, or that maybe there's a conversation for another time. But what I want you to understand is, from the physical point of view, in this 3D world, that 3D experience that you're having, if you're holding on to negative energy, if you're holding on to anger and bitterness and whatever else, it doesn't matter how justified you think it is, it's going to keep money away from you. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. For you to attain money, for you to attain the prosperity, the kind of prosperity that you desire, you have to let go of negativity, especially anger. And not anger at other people, but anger at yourself. You'd be surprised about how angry you are at yourself. Because a lot of the time when I work with people, I ask them, okay, so what does it make you feel about yourself? Oh no, I'm good about it. And then when I dig a bit deeper, we find out that there is a lot of anger, a lot of hidden anger against their own selves, because they're annoyed about the decisions they made, they're annoyed about the things they've done, they're annoyed about where they are, etc., etc. Yeah. So it's time to forgive yourself, and it's time to forgive everyone around you who you think is wrong to you. Doesn't matter how much your ego tells you that you're justified in being angry. Being angry will keep money away from you. Think of it this way: if you want more money, it's time to forgive. Forgiveness is truly the path of prosperity. It really is. If you want to go down the path of prosperity, you have to walk on the path of forgiveness first. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And it's one of my late night lives. Maybe I should do more of these late night lives. I'm very chilled out and I'm very calm. I'm normally bouncing off the walls and laughing my head off, but I'm very calm today. So maybe I should do more of these midnight lives. I don't know, a midnight talk with Gull Khan or something like that. But anyway, it's been an interesting experience today. So just for those of you who do remember, I'm doing a challenge called Millionaire Mindset Makeover. So you want to register on the website, which is www.millionairemindsetmakeover.com. Register today, and don't forget. And one of the days, by the way, so every day in the morning I'll give you a task, and then in the evening I'll go through a live like this, like a longer live, talking about the topic and discussing it in detail, plus explaining to you why I gave you the task in the morning. So one of the 5 days, I'm going to ask you to get a new underwear. I know that's so weird. So how can that help you to get more money? Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Okay, so you want to come along to this Millionaire Mindset Makeover 5-day challenge. And until I see you next time, take care. Bye for now.